Ever watch a finish to a race and thought to yourself, man, I wish Kyle Larson won the race? Or, man, I wish Chase Elliott won the race? Or, man, I wish Kyle Busch won the race? Well, you're in luck. I'm going back and redoing some of the finishes to these races. But I'm doing this not once, not twice, but 10 times with 10 winners. This is the 10 Winners Challenge. Our fifth 10 Winners Challenge takes us to the 2016 Homestead-Miami Speedway in Florida. In the late stage of the Cup Series race, a caution flew out for Dylan Lupton. Everyone went down pit road, and everyone was set for a dash to the finish. Unfortunately, two chase drivers were taken out in the very next moments. Logano was damaged, and Edwards might have gotten out of his car for the last time. After a red flag, a restart, and another yellow, we got the infamous green-white-checkered finish. Jimmie Johnson stole the win from Larson and garnered his 7th championship. Let's go back and redo that. Furthermore, let's redo the lineup with 10 laps to go, but make that the green-white-checkered finish. So, all 4 chase contenders will have 2 laps to battle it out for the 2016 title. Plus, all the drivers involved in that wreck are back and have a chance to win. Except for Regan Smith. Smith is 2 laps down. Finally, let's talk about Tony Stewart. I did not see anyone make Stewart's final car, so I made that car, and it is available for download in the description below. It's not 100% accurate, but I did research on the car and I mimicked it as best as possible. Finally, I let Tony Stewart on the lead lap because it's his last race, but he is back with the other wave-around cars at the back of the field. Those other wave-around cars include Brian Scott, Kurt Busch, and Alex Bowman. So, with that all set up, let's get right into it. Kyle Larson starts first, but he chooses the outside line. Carl Edwards is underneath. Joey Logano, Jimmie Johnson, and Kyle Busch all have a chance to win the championship. Can Kyle get his second? Can Carl or Logano get their first? Or will Johnson get his 7th title? Coming off of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. 2 laps to go here at Homestead. Brad Keselowski looking underneath Jimmie Johnson. Jimmie does not block, he lets Keselowski in. Meanwhile, Edwards and Larson are side by side through turn number 1 and 2. Carl Edwards looks to keep the lead, but the question is for how long? Down turn number 3, Carl Edwards has it, but Kyle Larson looking to sweep under. Kyle Busch gets into the outside wall. Joey Logano went way up on the track too. He did not get into the wall. Carl Edwards almost got to the outside wall too as Kevin Harvick, and that is, I believe, Kyle Larson are side by side for the win. Carl is not giving up though, as they are 5 wide. Keselowski gets into Johnson. Johnson and Keselowski in the wall. Johnson's chase chances are gone. Carl Edwards has clear sailing ahead, but he has a lot of competitors around, and that is Paul Menard. Menard is on the lead lap. Kevin Harvick sweeps way high on the track, and Paul Menard, out of nowhere, upsets the field and wins the final race at Homestead. What a huge run by Menard, as Carl Edwards is your first-time champion. It took them 2 years for that team to get a title, and Carl so many times finishes 2nd place. Finally gets a championship. So congrats to that 19 team. He's going to go ahead and celebrate, but what a fantastic job by Carl Edwards. Kyle Larson starts first, but he chooses the outside line. Carl Edwards is underneath. Joey Logano, Jimmie Johnson, and Kyle Busch all have a chance to win the championship. Can Kyle get his second? Can Carl or Logano get their first? Or will Johnson get his 7th title? Coming off of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. 2 laps to go here at Homestead. Side by side down turn number 1. Jimmie Johnson looking underneath Joey Logano. Kyle looks to have the edge as Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch run the high side, and look how close they are together. Kyle Larson, Carl Edwards, look at Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy underneath Carl now trying to make it 3 wide. Can Jimmy get his 7th championship, or can Carl get his first? Kyle Larson breaks through. Joey Logano way up to the high side. I don't think he got into the wall, but here they come from turn number 4. Logano gets in the wall, and Logano's chances might be dashed right there. Last lap for Kyle Larson. Down turn number 1, it is still Larson. Jimmy Johnson runs the high side. Matt Kenseth underneath Jimmy Johnson. But Jimmy right now has the spot for the 7th championship of his. Kyle Larson continues to lead down the back straightaway. Edwards, Logano, Kyle Busch start to fade back. Matt Kenseth looking for a run underneath Kyle Larson, but it should be Kyle Larson's. Jimmy is satisfied in 3rd as they are side by side off turn number 4, and it is going to be Matt Kenseth. Matt Kenseth wins here at Homestead, but Jimmy Johnson is able to pass Logano and Edwards and will get his 7th career championship, tying both Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt. There's the champion man right there. Top 10 is on your screen. Congrats to Jimmy Johnson. Congrats to Matt Kenseth with that stunning win. But wow. Kyle Larson starts first, but he chooses the outside line. Carl Edwards is underneath. Joey Logano, Jimmy Johnson, and Kyle Busch all have a chance to win the championship. Can Kyle get his 2nd? Can Carl or Logano get their 1st? Or will Johnson get his 7th title? Coming off of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. 2 laps to go here at Homestead. Our racing jostling farther in the back. Regan Smith, David Reagan, Trevor Bayne are 3 wide. Carl Edwards leads Kyle Larson from turn 1 and 2. Pretty even for the most part. No one except for Edwards has really broken away at this point. Down the back straightaway, it is still Carl Edwards, but Logano and Johnson are there as they are 4 wide. Larson gets in the wall, and Kyle Busch gets into Larson too. I think because of that, Kyle Busch has lost his chance to win the title. Carl Edwards with a huge lead as they are 4 wide. The white flag is out. Carl Edwards down turn number 1. Kevin Harvick is, oh boy, they all sweep really high up the track, but I think that's where the groove is as Carl Edwards down the back straightaway as Kevin Harvick leads in 2nd place. Martin Truex Jr. is looking for Kevin Harvick, but I don't think Truex can catch Carl Edwards. Down turn number 3, it's all Carl Edwards. Whoa, what a run by Martin Truex Jr. And because of that, Martin Truex Jr. single-handedly is able to win here at Homestead. We do have a crash down the front straightaway. Michael McDowell is around. Ricky Stenhouse, Ty Dillon involved. Lots of cars. Ryan Newman. Kyle Larson gets pelted. Clint Boyer also involved. But Martin Truex Jr., not a factor at all in this Homestead race, was able to come from behind and beat out Carl Edwards for the win. But that doesn't make any difference for Carl, as he is your first-time champion here at Homestead. Here's a replay of the wreck on the front straightaway. McDowell slams the outside wall hard. Denny Hamlin with some damage. Tony Stewart barely getting away. Kurt Busch heavy front-end damage. And Kyle Larson, who fell way in the back, pow, right into Kurt Busch. Kyle Larson starts first, but he chooses the outside line. Carl Edwards is underneath. Joey Logano, Jimmy Johnson, and Kyle Busch all have a chance to win the championship. Can Kyle get his 2nd? Can Carl or Logano get their 1st? Or will Johnson get his 7th title? Coming off of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. 2 laps to go here at Homestead. Kyle Larson starts with the lead, but the question is how long can he hold on? Carl Edwards is still right there, but Logano looks like he's giving Edwards a good push into turn number 2. Going into turn number 2 now. Joey Logano underneath Carl Edwards. Roaring down the back straightaway they go. Joey Logano now underneath Carl Edwards. Not just is this for the win, but this is for the title. Jimmie Johnson tries to battle suit, but here comes Brad Keselowski. They're going to be 3 wide off of turn number 4. White flag is out. On board with Denny Hamlin, Brad, I think Brad got into his teammate as Carl Edwards is holding off for his life down the back straightaway. Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, 1, 2, 3 down the, that's 2, 3, 4 down the back straightaway. There goes Brad. But can Joey get by Carl Edwards at all? 3 and 4 wide coming through turns 3 and 4 for the final time in 2016. They're going to be side by side to the line, and Brad is going to win here at Homestead. Brad Keselowski, not in the chase, was able to get by Carl Edwards and is able to win here at Homestead. But guys, that does not matter. Carl Edwards, he finished second, but he is the top chase contender. So Carl Edwards is indeed your winner of the 2016 championship. Congrats to that team, and I can't wait to see them in action in 2017. Kyle Larson starts first, but he chooses the outside line. Carl Edwards is underneath. Joey Logano, Jimmie Johnson, and Kyle Busch all have a chance to win the championship. Can Kyle get his second? Can Carl or Logano get their first? Or will Johnson get his 7th title? Coming off of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. 2 laps to go here at Homestead. Carl Edwards gets the good jump going down turn number 1. Joey Logano going to follow suit, and Jimmie Johnson going to follow right after that. Carl Edwards running down the middle, Joey Logano running high. Brad Keselowski looking into the 5th position, but can he get the win? On board with Jimmie Johnson down the back straightaway. Carl Edwards continues to lead down into turn number 3. Joey Logano, Jimmie Johnson side by side for 2nd position as they go 3 wide, whoop and roar past the camera. Coming off of turn number 4, they're going to be 4 wide down the front straightaway. Last lap for Carl Edwards. Carl Edwards finished 2nd so many times in the championship. Can he finally win the championship? Joey Logano and Jimmie Johnson are still battling it out, but that means nothing to the championship. Down the back straightaway, cars are 3 wide still down the back straightaway, but Carl Edwards is beginning to pull away down turn number 3. For the final time in 2016, Carl Edwards will lead the way, and Carl finally breaks through and gets the win at Homestead and wins the championship in 2016. Good job to that team. Unbelievable. Carl Edwards makes it all the way through, finishes 2nd so many times, and finally comes out on top. Here you see the top 10 on your screen. And again, very impressive run by Carl Edwards and that team. Good job to them, and I can't wait to see what they do in 2017. Kyle Larson starts first, but he chooses the outside line. Carl Edwards is underneath. Joey Logano, Jimmie Johnson, and Kyle Busch all have a chance to win the championship. Can Kyle get his second? Can Carl or Logano get their first? Or will Johnson get his 7th title? Coming off of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. 2 laps to go here at Homestead. Going to turn number 1 now, Carl Edwards looks like he'll have the nose ahead. Top 3 were able to pull away. Harding and Johnson, they did stack up the rest of the field. Through turn 1 and 2 as the camera shakes as the cars roar past. Joey Logano is right there. He is right there to take the win and championship away from Carl Edwards. Can Joey make it stick? Through turn 3 and 4, ooh, a couple of cars in the wall. Kyle Larson, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, all got on the wall. Kyle Busch's chances at the championship might have just gone away right there as the white flag is out. Is that Ryan Newman? Yeah, that is Ryan Newman. Side by side with Carl Edwards through turn 1 and 2. Carl really high up on the track, and wait, is that, there's a white car down there? Is that Ty Dillon? What? Yeah, that's Ty Dillon. He is on the lead lap, and he's battling Ryan Newman for the win. Carl is starting to fall back. It is all Ty Dillon. Coming off of turn number 4, Martin Truex is right there too, but in an incredible upset, Ty Dillon has won here at Homestead. And we have problems down turn number 1. Eric Almirola, lots of laps down already. Greg Biffle, chase contender Joey Logano. Logano did not win the title. Johnson did not win the title. Ty Dillon won the race. And I believe Carl Edwards was able to hold off for the title. Just barely, but it is all Carl Edwards. Wow, what a finish by them. So congrats to Ty Dillon and congrats to Carl on winning the championship in 2016. Kyle Larson starts first, but he chooses the outside line. Carl Edwards is underneath. Joey Logano, Jimmy Johnson, and Kyle Busch all have a chance to win the championship. Can Kyle get his second? Can Carl or Logano get their first? Or will Johnson get his 7th title? Coming off of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. 2 laps to go here at Homestead. Even restart down turn number 1. Kyle Larson, he did start with the lead, but how long can he keep it? Carl Edwards goes to the inside and it looks like he will take the lead away, but he has help from Logano and Jimmy Johnson, and they both want to take the championship away from Carl. On board with Kevin Harvick. Remember, Jimmy Johnson stole the championship away from Carl Edwards in 2008. Could Johnson do it again? Through turn number 3 to turn number 4, Carl still has the lead as Joey Logano now side by side with Jimmy Johnson further in the back. Last lap here at Homestead. Carl Edwards continues to lead. Kyle Larson, he's looking now underneath Carl Edwards. Kyle Busch trying to make it 3 wide farther in the back, but I don't think Kyle Busch has enough momentum to get through. Meanwhile, for the win, side by side between Kyle Larson and Carl Edwards. Kevin Harvick to the inside. Can he make it stick? Yes, he does. Jimmy Johnson's coming. Can Jimmy steal the championship away from Carl Edwards? They touch for the win, and it's Harvick. Kevin Harvick steals the win away from Kyle Larson. But guys, since Carl Edwards, he made it a 3 wide finish, and since Carl was there, Carl is your first time champion. Congrats to that team. 2015, Joe Gibbs made a 4th team with Carl in it, and it took 2 years, and that team is now a champion. So 2 years in a row, Gibbs has won the title, and congrats to Carl Edwards. I cannot wait to see what that team does in 2017. Kyle Larson starts first, but he chooses the outside line. Carl Edwards is underneath. Joey Logano, Jimmy Johnson, and Kyle Busch all have a chance to win the championship. Can Kyle get his second? Can Carl or Logano get their first? Or will Johnson get his 7th title? Coming off of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. 2 laps to go here at Homestead. Carl Edwards got to a really good jump down turn number 1. Kyle Larson is able to follow suit and gets up to behind him for 2nd spot. Couple of chase guys, 4th, 5th, 6th. Kyle Busch is not able to hold on as a bunch of other cars are about to pass by him. On board with Kevin Harvick, currently in 3rd position. Harvick not in the chase, and there he goes to the inside. Wow! What a run by Kevin Harvick through turn number 4, and he switched by both Larson and Edwards. White flag is out. I think Kyle Busch got into the wall. That's not the focus now, as Jimmy Johnson looks underneath Carl Edwards for the championship. Kevin Harvick continues to lead, and that is Austin Dillon to the inside of Kevin Harvick. Johnson has passed Edwards for the title, as we got, oh boy, we have a wreck down the back straightaway. Alex Bowman and Brian Scott spin. Caution is not out. I repeat, the caution is not out, as Austin Dillon will come off of turn number 4 and gets his first career win at Homestead. Teammate Ryan Newman made it a close one at the very end, and the caution finally flew, but once it was past the finish line. And guys, Jimmy Johnson has won his 7th championship. He is now tied with Dale Earnhardt and Richard Petty with the most championships. And he passes Carl Edwards on the last lap. So Carl is going to have to deal with 2nd place again. Carl goes in to congratulate Jimmy Johnson, and here's the wreck on the back straightaway. Biffle, Scott, and Bullman spin down the back straightaway. The reason it was not a caution, the cars were so far in the back that it would have no effect on the actual finish. Kyle Larson starts first, but he chooses the outside line. Carl Edwards is underneath. Joey Logano, Jimmy Johnson, and Kyle Busch all have a chance to win the championship. Can Kyle get his second? Can Carl or Logano get their first? Or will Johnson get his 7th title? Coming off of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. 2 laps to go here at Homestead. Kyle Larson did not get a good jump that time. It is all Carl Edwards. Kyle Busch goes underneath Jimmy Johnson. Kyle now into the top 5 as he is going to get around Kevin Harvick. Top 3 now are going to be chase contenders as Kyle Busch challenges Kyle Larson for that 3rd position. Down into turn number 3 now, Carl Edwards. It looks like he is clear sailing ahead, but we still got plenty of racing to go. Look at all those cars spreading out, 3 and 4 wide. I believe Matt Kenseth got into the wall. But here comes Kyle Busch. Final lap for that team. We got some trouble down the front straightaway. That is Regan Smith and Casey Mears. I don't believe, nope, caution is not thrown. They are so far in the back that the caution is not thrown as Kyle Busch continues to lead down the back straightaway. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he is on the lead lap. He is in 2nd spot. He is coming with fury. Coming off of turn number 3, Ryan Blaney is not on the lead lap, but Bavarius and Tony Stewart. Here he comes 4 wide to the line, and Tony Stewart spins. Checkered is out. Kyle Busch wins the race in the title, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. upside down. Oh my. So Kyle Busch has won the race and probably the most exciting finish ever in modern history. So wow, Kyle Busch has done it. He has won the race. He has won the title. That's wow. That's amazing. So here's the top 10 on your screen, and we'll show you a replay of a couple of the wrecks here. Jimmy Johnson heavily damaged through turn 3, as there were a lot of cars involved on the front straightaway there. So here's the one wreck on the final lap. We thought the caution would come out here, but that was not the case. Regan Smith and Casey Mears, they both spin, but they do keep going. So that's the reason why the caution didn't come out. And here's the wreck. Tony Stewart made almost the most improbable comeback ever, but he wrecks at the very end, and Ricky Stenhouse up and over. David Reagan involved, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano getting some damage. Matt Kenseth plows on in. Wow. Kyle Larson starts first, but he chooses the outside line. Carl Edwards is underneath. Joey Logano, Jimmy Johnson, and Kyle Busch all have a chance to win the championship. Can Kyle get his second? Can Carl or Logano get their first? Or will Johnson get his 7th title? Coming off of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. 2 laps to go here at Homestead. Joey Logano did not get a good start, and Jimmy Johnson immediately takes advantage and dives underneath Logano. Meanwhile, Kyle Larson and Carl Edwards continue to run side by side through turns 1 and 2. One car slow and off pace, that is Jamie McMurray. He is on the lead lap, but it looks like he will not be a factor. Coming down turn number 3, Carl Edwards, and looks like, oh boy, Carl Edwards sweeps up. Kyle Larson sweeps way high, but Kyle Larson likes that high side as Jimmy Johnson is going to do it. He steals the championship away from Edwards, possibly. We still have a lap to go. We got trouble down the front straightaway. Kenseth is involved. Casey Mears involved. Michael Annette is spinning. Jimmy Johnson in the outside wall. Jimmy and Carl, they bounce, they contact. Coming off of turn number 2, and Carl Edwards is able to take the championship back away as Ryan Newman, out of nowhere, takes the win away. Coming through turn number 3, is that Brian Scott? What? That's Brian Scott. He is a waiver on card. He is on the lead lap, and he just won at Homestead. What? Yes, Brian Scott was, what? I'm at a loss for words. There's Tony Stewart, he finished second. But yeah, Brian Scott was a wave around car. He was farther in the back. But Brian Scott had, wow. Carl Edwards is your champion. Yes, that is a huge story. But guys, Brian Scott out of nowhere has won the world. Here's the wreck at the last lap with Matt Kenseth, Landon Castle, Mears. But guys, Brian Scott. Michael Lynette spins. The pace car is moving out of the way. Regan Smith spins, and that's the 55 also involved. But yeah, Brian Scott in his final race wins. So yeah, wow. I really don't know what else to say. So yeah, congrats to Mr. Brian Scott. Wow. So there you have it. 10 winners and the champions of each attempt are declared. The season is over, but 2017 is almost here. Cannot wait for that. Finally, I do have a video set for 2,000 subscribers. Once this channel hits 2,000 subscribers, the video will be released. So thank you for watching. Hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button so I can release that 2K special video. And also let me know which attempt was your favorite. Thank you everyone for the support. And as always, I will see you next time.